Hey, this is Joe Gilder from HomeStudioCorner.com. Today I want to show you a quick way to get snappy drums. Now this is a pretty common thing that I run into, and you probably do too. So you're mixing a song. You generally start with the drums, and you probably get a great sounding drum kit when you have just the drums playing. But then you add in bass and guitars and keyboards and vocals and all the other nonsense, and your drums start to sound not as good. You can still hear them, but they're just not cutting through, and they're not as punchy as they were before. Now you can go in and turn things up and tweak individual settings on individual pieces of the kit, and that might work. But I've found sometimes it's just a matter of getting some more snap out of them. And this is how I do that, and it works really well. Okay, the first thing I do is I get my kick and snare tracks. I've got 2 kick tracks and a top and bottom snare track on this song, okay? And I create a send on each. So I create a send over to a bus. This bus is called Snap, okay? So I'm sending just my kick and my snare over to this bus, and it sounds like this. Okay, nothing to write home about. Here's the full kit. Here's the bus. Okay, just kick and snare, no big deal. So then I slap on this Renaissance compressor, okay? And I'm just gonna dial it in to do a heavy amount of compression. Then I'm gonna tweak the attack and release settings, set it to manual mode for the release, until I get a lot of snap. The whole point of this track is not to be beefy, not to be punchy, but to be snappy. So let's see if we can do that. Okay, that's a good start. Now let's work with the attack and release. Okay, it's working pretty well. I feel like the kick is louder than the snare, so I'm going to turn the snare up on the sends just a little bit. Yeah, that sounded pretty snappy. So here we go. Here it is without the compression. And here it is with. Notice how the front end of that kick and snare, those kick and snare hits, is now way up in our face. Not just volume, but that snap is coming through. Now we can blend this back in with the regular kit, with the full kit, and listen to what happens. I'm going to start with it turned down, and I'll blend it back in. Listen to how the kick and the snare just come to the front of the mix. See, we take it away and things get a little rounder. So if you've ever heard a mix and you thought, man, how is that snare so up front in the mix, and the kick? How is it not clipping everything? How is it not covering up everything? This is one way to do that. You get a nice, snappy, in-your-face sound that blends in and complements nicely your overall drum sound. Try it on your next mix. I think you'll like it.